Hey y'all, Iric Sky here, back again with something really cool today. Now today I have the Freckle Belly, and this is an India Pale Ale, also commonly referred to as IPA, and it's brewed by a brewing company called Back 40 Beer Company, and they're based in Gadsden, Alabama. It says craft brewed liquid folk art. Back40beer.com. And I think it's cool they recommend pairings on here, and they recommend spicy food, burgers, and Alabama Gulf seafood. Now, if you've never had Alabama Gulf seafood, there are a ton of hole-in-the-wall restaurants down there in a place called Gulf Shores, Alabama. And you can get fried crab claws, raw oysters on the half shell. They bring them from Apalachicola. And amberjack, red snapper. The list goes on. Prepare it any way you want it. Blackened, fried. But this video is about this beer. And it says Freckle Belly India Pale Ale. This full-bodied India Pale Ale is loaded with fresh hops for a powerful blend of citrus, pine, and fruit aromas. The firm malt backbone works well with a bold hop finish that everyone expects from an IPA. Belly up, hopheads. So let's go ahead and get into this. Now, like I said, I'm not a Cicerone, so my beer vocabulary may be somewhat unacceptable, but I will tell you how I perceive it. It does smell like a pine tree. You get that pine nose on it. Kind of the darker, not dark, but golden, dark golden color that I would expect from an IPA. You know, something I thought was interesting about this particular beer is that it doesn't give the ABV, the alcohol by volume. When you put it in a glass, it just gets an even better, better piney aroma to it, piney nose. Just like putting your nose down in pine needles. Man, just smelling those pine needles out in the forest. Let's go ahead and taste it. That is really, really good. That is really good. Very smooth, perfectly blended in my opinion, brewed to perfection. I mean, that's the thing about IPAs. IPA is a type of beer, but each brewery typically does their own spin on IPA, and this is, for example, very different than a somewhat close brewery. You got Gadsden, Alabama, then you got Atlanta, Georgia, where Sweetwater Brewing Company is, and they're famous for their 420. And this is completely different from that, but it's equally wonderful. And if you're like me, you're not really a wine person. I mean, yeah, wine's all right. It can pair with food, but I would prefer rather to pair craft beer with food, because it's just, if you're not a big wine nut, it's kind of silly to go out and experience all these expensive wines when you can do beer instead. And this is a prime example of a beer that if you're wanting to educate your palate, your mouth and everything, educate it, to get to know the subtle nuances among multiple IPA beers. This is a great way to get in on that. And that's something I'd like to say about this. For an IPA, I've experienced a lot of IPAs that are a lot more bitter. If I was going to segue someone into craft beer, someone that may just drink Natty Light and Coors Light and Bud Light and, you know, your mainstream light beers. If I was going to segue someone into craft beer, this would be a good IPA to do that, because it's not a punch in the face of hops, but it's and it's not a punch in the face with pine needles or anything like that. It's just a good, this would be a great segue beer. So to segue a mainstream beer drinker into something great. But anyway, yeah, I love this. And again, this is the Freckle Belly India Pale Ale from the Back 40 Beer Company in Gadsden, Alabama. So thanks for watching. Share this video with others. Subscribe if you haven't already. It's youtube.com/IrixGuy. And y'all have a good day.